They usually be squared off and divided, you know.
It'll divide as more and more people show up.
Oh, it will?
Yeah, it's fine, Grandpa.
Oh, but the size so small. Well, that's what I want.
Oh yeah.
I think it's in gallery mode. I mean, it's not in gallery mode.
Oh, okay. Now he's enlarged. That's like it was.
Our guest today, JG.
What's going on, sir?
What's happening, brother? How you doing? Hey, Pops.
Yeah, how you doing, fella?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing all right.
You ready for my steak?
And I'm telling you, it ain't over till it's over.
It ain't over.
I got all of November, December, probably January.
All right, y'all. Let's hop into it. So don't forget to like and subscribe. I keep forgetting to say that. This is 60 episodes in. I'm still forgetting. But so we got a guest today, JG. Met this brother last weekend, right? What's the name of the radio station again?
Couch Boys. I'm talking about on the Couch Boys.
No, the place we met at. Like, yeah.
Oh, my studio. Audio Wave Network.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. It was doing recording for Couchboard Radio. I met this good brother, and I wanted to have him on, show us our little setup over here. This is we all know the headliner, Grandpa Taylor. You know, Uncle. I make my ancestors proud, Pooh Bear.
We are the ones.
Oh yeah,
we're the ones we've been waiting for.
That's right.
Well, let's get into the beer because we got a lot to cover this episode. Because I know Uncle Pooh got a lot to say.
Yes.
Okay. Grandpa, you want to go first? What beer you got?
It needs no introduction.
No introduction. Oh, you brought out his favorites. Hey, Josh, we might get a 7 today.
Might get a 7.
Yeah, it always start out with a 6, you know.
He brutal, man.
Yeah.
He's crushing it.
That's because of
what you got, Josh?
I got I like my beer like I like my wife, you know, a nice big black butt.
Hey, is that the 29th anniversary? Okay, I don't think I had that one, but that's a pretty solid one.
Birthday reserve. I'm gonna give it, and I'll put it, you know, because I didn't use my wife. Because I didn't use my wife's name, I gotta give it a 10.
Go home. I see she already got you in the basement there, so you know.
The next thing is from the basement to the street.
Yeah.
All wrong.
Hey, he better go rub some feet today, man. Yeah, it ain't looking good, bro.
It's looking great. I like my basement. This is where I handle things sometimes.
Okay, Al Bundy.
Hey, JG.
Look, I am it's desperate times, man, and bleak time for America. I done pulled out the wine bottles now. I'm drinking today.
Man,
I got this 19 Crimes with the Snoop Dogg collaboration.
I saw that.
It's pretty damn good. I like it.
Okay, I like that. I think JG's trying to grab himself a bottle, but
I wasn't prepared. I gotta go grab me a bottle of something. I got some Modelo in the fridge, so I'm gonna grab one of those.
Okay. We ain't gonna beer snob on you too bad.
I mean, it was either gonna be Modelo or some tequila.
Hey, I got the wine bottle, so it might be a little early for tequila.
I would have brought up some what Josh gave me, but I got kind of disturbed this morning, so I drank it.
Hey, Pop, that's how I feel.
Yo, Josh, don't come looking for nothing because
I didn't know we had any left after Saturday.
Yeah, there was a little bit left, but I had to calm my nerves, so I get out and start cutting on the grass.
So you drank and then cut the grass this morning. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect way to do it.
Oh man, well while JG's getting set up, you want to do your rating of your beer, Grandpa? Or we already rated Killian a couple times, but you know.
6.
Oh, 6. All right, Uncle Pooh even got his open. I'm gonna drink mine.
Yeah.
What you got?
It's definitely it tastes. It's like a mix between it's in that between stage between a stout and a port. It's good. You know, I already gave my. It's drinkable. I like it. It has a coffee aftertone, a little bit bitter, dark chocolate taste.
Let me see the bottle. I didn't see it.
Oh, there you go.
Like what?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the 29th birthday reserve.
That's
So
to the street.
Yeah. Nah, that's pretty good.
it is pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It is.
I done broke my bottle. Now I'm over here worried.
Worried. Go ahead, JG. Give your rating your beer.
Modelo, you know, just regular. I might have got this a couple months ago, but you know, it serves its purpose.
It's wet.
It quenches the thirst.
Yeah, quench the thirst. You got two of the good elements with it.
He said it's wet.
Hey, mama said you ain't got nothing nice to say now, though. It's wet. It's a liquid.
It's a liquid. It goes down.
Oh man, Uncle Pooh Bear, you know, he done got a special glass.
Yeah. I mean, special.
Chalice.
I'm preparing for when I get my opportunity to get my steak out of Dad. So I got to get my bougie glass going.
And JG, if you haven't been watching the show, there's been a long-standing bet between Grandpa and Uncle Pooh about how and when Trump was going to get out of office. And Grandpa, much like Darth Vader, has changed the deal on numerous occasions about how and when the matter was going to be settled.
I'm not saying one bit. I said before, he would not finish this term. I'm still saying it. Right now, we got folks out there maybe don't want him to finish this term.
When Trump was elected, Grandpa said he wouldn't last a month, and then it turned to 3 months, and then it turned a year.
He would not finish out this term.
Hey, 30 days ago, it was 30 days.
I said he would not finish out this term. I'm sticking with it now. I ain't going nowhere.
I mean, he going out kicking and screaming. That's for sure. Like,
That's for sure.
He going out. He gonna be kicking and screaming though.
So, what's the topic there? I'm assuming we're talking about the election.
So last week we were talking about this was going to be the post-election show because we just assumed things was going to turn out, and like one way or another, we thought the election was going to be over. But now it's the, I guess we drag into the finish line election show.
It's still the damn election show.
But man, it's a lot of things have come to light, man, because a lot of people were steady blaming the black community, saying, y'all got to vote. Trump has got to get out because, we got to make sure y'all do it. And then people are starting to realize that, just like we've been talking about, Uncle Pooh Bear, that people keep saying black people are the monolith. Latino people, or Latinx people definitely are the monolith. They are voting every which way. And it's like, and let's not forget, those white people that said they were going to change their vote did not change their vote. And so it seems like people are pointing blame at the most disenfranchised people and not looking at the people who are actually doing the deed.
Yeah, white.
It really showed this ugly face, this election. Now, the reason the Latinos, they have different objectives, different problems. You got the Cubans down there trying to keep Cuba from getting any social justice. Then you got people from Chile and Venezuela with the socialism. So everybody got their problems. So I can understand why they're not monolith, just like we are,
Yeah, but there's always been this tone of the black and brown coalition, and that's not true. That's absolutely not true. But it's always seemed that the black part of the black and brown coalition gets the blame for what happens in the electoral process, even though we get put as this monolithic figure, but no one else seems to get that. Like, like when you look at Latinx people, I'm saying that because that's what people apparently what they're supposed to be called, and I'm trying to be respectful of everybody. And I'm just sitting here, I'm just like, I'm watching the coverage now. I'm seeing the coverage of Florida, and like people are coming out saying, just like you said, we came from Cuba. We don't want things to happen like that here. We got different I should say historical backgrounds. I don't know what to say. Different cultural backgrounds of Latinx people saying different things. There's people voting Democrat, people voting Republican, and it's not the narrative isn't that they are doing something wrong. It's just the narrative is they're voting their interest, which is never apparently the black person's. We don't get that for some reason. It's like if you're not automatically voting a Democrat, it's something else. But like that's just not the way that the news is spinning it. That's what I'm seeing happening live.
Black people in this. I wish I had worn my. I'm gonna change mine. I'm gonna change shirts in the middle of this. So I'm gonna do a wardrobe change on you. But black. Go ahead, Pops.
No, I said, what is the wardrobe change?
Yep. Brother JG, you go ahead and get in it. Let me get my wardrobe change on.
I would say just in I'm a teacher, so I'm a teacher by day. So just in the way we talk to students and put onus on them being the change, them being the future, there's always this Black people are the culture, right? We set that bar as we the culture, we push the needles forward, especially as sometimes as young Black millennials, we looked at as the culture, whether or not it's how the needle pushes, how everything moves or not. So I've seen just in my scrolling of social media in these past, hours, days, people say they're not voting, or I see some people write in Kanye West's name, and it's just like when you really think of the election, sometimes the election holds. I'm kind of trying to not ramble, but it's so many factors that come into play being a young Black millennial in this society and the pressures there are. Now, me, I'm married, I'm a father, so it's like I know how to handle myself. But sometimes it's just some people are just, hey, it's not directly affecting me, so I'm gonna vote, but I'm gonna vote how I want to vote. And I was explaining to one of my students that no matter the results of this election, society is going to hit a pivotal change one way or another. So if Donald Trump loses this election, you have to think this is almost like a sore loser mentality where I'm literally going to strip this country of everything I can and see how it falters in the next 2 months. So think about any additional unemployment benefits, any possible stimulus check, all these things can be stripped, and you put a society where you already have these right-wing people that are totally upset that he lost, so they're already angry, and then you take away all this extra funding for people, you create a riot just in his loss. So it's like, but that's a riot we need at this point. Like we need that destruction to move on, because we have to move on at some point. Sorry if I was rambling, guys. I know I made a couple.
Man,
you in the right place for that.
Yeah, man, we're definitely rambling, man.
Here, right?
No, you bring up a lot of great points, man. So it's obvious that leading up to even the election day, man, people like ammo sales have gone through the roof. Like if you for example, if you look at 9mm rounds right now, I think for like a box of 30 or 50, it's like almost $40, which is pretty intense considering it was. I have to look back what it was a few months ago, but it definitely wasn't almost damn near a double.
Yeah, it was all like prices for bullets have almost always been like, depending on the size and the caliber, 50 cents. Like, it's like 50 cents on the dollar. So it depends on the bullet, but like just ammo going up. I went to Dunham's to go get a new firearm, and it's just like it's a week waiting period. And I'm just like, okay, this is not making sense. Like when usually you can go in there, and if you have a CPL or whatever you have, they'll run your background and you can walk out with a shotgun or whatever it is, which, I mean, I don't completely agree with. I think there should be a background check, but just saying it's a week out it's a different experience right now.
Yeah, I mean, like I remember right when COVID happened, I remember going to I'm not gonna say the store, but a gun store. They had arranged everything there in Detroit. And I'm walking in there, and I'm just looking to buy just a handgun, because I already got I got a rifle with the crib already. and I'm going in there, and like people are coming in not with regular masks, but with like actual like full on covering masks, right? Like you could just see it's like visors, goggles, and everything. It was pretty interesting, and it was like a group of dudes. They walk in, and they was like, yeah, I need 2 shotguns, a such and such rifle, and some other thing. And I'm just like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, why you come in all camouflaged coming into the store like that, trying to buy certain items? I'm like, it's not really my business, but it just seemed kind of weird, to come into an establishment like that already kind of armored out. I mean, like if you come into the gun range, that's cool, man. People bring their stuff, that's understandable. But like, a pandemic just started to happen, and you coming in armored and masked up, that's a little weird.
Yeah,
and that was months ago.
No, what are them Michigan Capitol when they come all armed and they got uniforms and stuff, Now that was weird, State Capitol.
Yeah, man.
I know. I see we got pro-gun folks in here today. I'm not pro-gun at all. I don't think that citizens should have weapons.
Uncle Pooh, yes, you got the guns open right now, man. You got the
yeah. Everybody should have these, but I mean, I'm. There's no reason for it. There's no reason for a regular citizen to have this type of weaponry at their house. Now, I remember why, right? American wants to bear their guns so the tyrannical government can't overthrow the people. It all sounds cute, but look, your damn guns ain't doing nothing with 21st century modern day military. So all of that is crap now. So you just want guns to protect yourself. Well, if you just took all the guns away and there's no guns, then you could protect yourself with these, right? Or your knife. There's no reason for the citizens to be strapped in the 21st century.
But there's the flip to that, because people are just going to say, then the black market for guns blows up, and only the criminals got guns. That's
not if you have a country that's serious about removing weapons, right? Like if you go to the UK, like they running around with knives. They literally can't get no damn guns. Like literally, right? I know the UK is much smaller, all right, than the United States, right? But even in Europe, right? Everybody ain't got no guns in Europe. Like it doesn't make any sense. All it does is feed these right-wing militia idiots. It emboldens them to continue this this walking around and this intimidation, walking around with assault rifles on your damn hip. Like what? Like this place is sick, man. Like I keep saying it. I'm leaving. I'm getting the hell out this country, and y'all can enjoy it. Y'all, hey, whatever.
I really agree with you as far as like I'm not pro-gun at all. I'm not pro-gun at all. At the same time, I run a business that I'm usually in there late nights. I live on the east side of Detroit,
don't be crazy, right?
Yeah, it's certain things and certain steps I have to take to protect myself and my family. But would I want to carry a gun? Absolutely not. Am I the type of person that got, 2 pistols on both hips, a pistol on my ankle? No, like that's not me. I want the smallest gun possible, and that's it. Like I don't want the assault rifles, and like I'm not preparing for the zombie apocalypse, Civil War. Like I'm not preparing for these things. Like I'm literally just trying to protect myself and my family if the time ever comes. Like it's so I guess that makes me pro gun, but I'm like on the fence. I'm always on the fence. Like I understand both sides. If you take away all the guns, I give you mine with you don't have to give me a refund. Like whatever I pay for it, take it. If we can take all the guns off the street and all we have is our hands, cool. I'm for that action too. So it's just like, but I know it's not a level playing field.
But what it should be then though is the Second Amendment. Let's ship the Second Amendment out of this country. That right to bear arms.
Yeah.
I mean, what I think we're talking about, I mean, there's a lot of things to that, but I mean, for me, that's not the reality we're in right now. We're in a non-homogenous country, right? There's so many different peoples and different backgrounds here that right now, man, if I'll say this, if I know there's a bunch of people who don't like me and they got guns, I'm for guns because I need to have a gun too.
No doubt.
That's just the long and short of it. Like I don't have a problem if people just want to sell their disputes just fist fighting. That's fine with me. I support that. That's fine. But I know at the end of the day, I don't live in a world where most people think like that. Like there are a lot of cowards out here who want to just run up on people. But I'm gonna get back on. I'm gonna try to get back on the current topic. This gonna turn to gun control in a second. but yeah, man, it's right now I'm looking at the live update of the election feed. So it's 248 Biden, 214 to Trump. And it's still going, man. Like it's wild that they say, like I kept hearing last night they were talking about, and some this morning where they're talking about Pennsylvania just wasn't set up for this type of situation. I'm like, this country been here for over 200 years and people aren't set up for voting. I mean, what?
Man, you know this country ain't shit. They've been on bullshit their entire existence. This is what they own. They planning it. They're strategic about it. It's gonna come down to these swing states. If we do X, Y, and Z in these states, we can sully the field. We can throw out some votes. We already stacked the Supreme Court. I mean, Trump he's laid out his path to victory, whether it's electorally or it's through the judicial system. But these boys are smart, man. They've been doing it. They've been doing it since the damn country started voting. And I just think like today, a lot of us love to either we're ignorant of history or we like to pretend like we don't know. Like it ain't never been shit fair about these elections ever. Like this is how the country rolls. So I mean, I don't know. I choose to see the reality and what it is. Like they ain't ever been shit, and I don't expect them to be shit. Like
On their underground.
I mean, it's just
Grandpa?
They kind of showing their undergarments in respect to.
Can you sit closer to your computer, Grandpa? We can hear you a little better.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No, I was just saying. I passed. I don't forget what I was going to say.
Josh that threw him off, man. Take a sip, man. You probably.
I drank that up.
Yeah, it's gone.
I have got some beer though. That don't do it.
You got emergency beer? You done poured a beer to the side, like, hey man, we got to have an extra shot.
Right.
But okay, so you were talking about like black folks not being monolithic and all that good stuff, right? I look, all right, we're not a monolith. Well, you monolithically getting your ass kicked, right?
Oh no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the propaganda used for black people in terms of voting is y'all need to vote like a monolith, but for everybody else, vote your interest. Like it was interesting to see that dichotomy yesterday and today, because when they were talking about the Latinx vote, there, especially in Florida, they were saying, yeah, the people need to realize, like Biden and Trump, that these aren't all just one group of people. Like this, this because they're lumped in by one classification. They all have different backgrounds and things like that, different interests. But like black people, they're like, every time they kept talking about black people, it was only in terms of the Democrats. You know what I mean? Like it was just like it was a foregone automatic. Like, and that's just so weird to me. However you feel about that, it's just weird to me that that's allowed. Like,
well, I want to let's dive into that a couple of different ways, right? Number one is the shirt I got on, non-immigrant, because this is why you are a monolith, because we are a non-immigrant, right? Huh?
Read the rest of it. I can't see it.
It says, we are not citizens of the United States of America by choice, but we would never, ever concede this country that our ancestors built with their blood, sweat, and tears. But that's why they speak about us in a monolithic sense, because you got the same oppressor, man. You got the same background. We got the same understanding, and we should have the same viewpoint regardless of how much money you make, because they don't hate you because you're rich. They hate you because you black. They don't hate you because you Christian. They hate you because you black. They don't hate you because you gay. They hate you because you black. I was just watching Malcolm X, The Ballad of a Bullet. I'm fired up right now, right? I want to dig into that a little bit deeper. But when it comes to the Latin, what would you call it? Latinx? I know it's Latin with an X at the end.
Yeah, Latinx.
But when it comes to those people, they literally aren't a monolith because they come from different parts of the world. You're right. They're just being lumped into the same situation, but they was raped and pillaged in a lot of different ways, right? And a lot of those Cubans that came to Miami and that voted, they're like, oh my God, the Cubans, they didn't vote Democratic. Them are white Cubans. You got to know the history. They fled Cuba. They fled Cuba when Batista lost because they was doing all that bullshit down there. They hate black people. You could only work the sugarcane fields, and Castro came in and deaded all of that. And that's why they left. And that's why they vote Republican, because they hate you as well. And they don't want to go back to that because they had their fortunes stripped from them when Castro leveled the playing field.
The land stripped from him.
Yeah.
Is Mario Rubio. You know what his father gave him? His father escaped from Cuba, right? These are the people that left there because of the nationalization of Cuba. Marco Rubio's father gave him $5 million. So you know he fled because the folks were going to take some of his money. He put his money over here and he come over here. Now he wants to go back and make things the way they used to be, but things will never be what they used to be. You know, as far as the Cuban people is concerned, they ain't going back to the slavery days the same was in Florida. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah, my bad. Crystal had walked in. I was.
I want to ask something real quick to Jonathan, the good brother Jonathan, real quick. Since he's a teacher, do they allow y'all to even speak on this type of history in school? Like,
so really, it's up to. I mean, I'm 30, so being in the I came into education late. Like I became a teacher at 27. It wasn't my plan. I wanted a job where I can get off at 3:00. So sounds crazy, right? Sounds crazy. I wanted to get off at 3:00, have my summers off. You know, I had a business, so I wanted to be able to focus on that. The thing about becoming a teacher, it literally changed my life because I felt I should have been doing this. So just fast forward, I started off teaching U.S. history, and the whole thing about U.S. history, they have a curriculum for you, but it's so many missing parts to it. You know, they just now put in, you know, Du Bois and Booker T. Washington. They're just putting these people in it now. So it's like, as a black man and black students, I can't operate this class like the way they wanted me to. So it was like, we have like Black History Month where we're focusing on like all of this stuff. And it's just like, my Black History Month stretched from December to April because it's just like, yo, we're going to cover everything. And then there's, all right, well, you need to focus on World War I. Okay, let me show you where our people were during the times of World War I. And then, so for me,
I like this brother.
That's why I said the good brother Jonathan.
For me, it was like, I can't do this because even my school's mission statement, in our mission statement, it says, I'm paraphrasing it, but it says, you know, uplifting Black excellence and destigmatizing, dismantling white supremacy. So even if we're living for this, yeah. We'll talk about the school. We talk about the school. So okay. Even if this is our mission statement and our goal and things like that, our curriculum doesn't add up. Like, our curriculum doesn't add up, because even if we're uplifting Black excellence, why do we have these Black kids that's coming from these poor and impoverished neighborhoods only having one semester of economics, and we're not teaching them the fundamentals that they need to survive in an economy, like, or one semester of civics? Like, you can like, U.S. history happened. Like, I'm gonna be honest, U.S. history happened. Like, we all know that. And I would rather spend a full year teaching these kids about economics, about redlining, about things like this, that literally has a financial effect on them, as opposed to talking about World War I and the Revolutionary War. Like, I would rather talk about some things that they can actually use to make a change and make a difference.
Are you in a private school?
Charter school.
Yeah, all right. That's starting to make sense now. I was like, the good brother Jonathan ain't gonna be there long talking like.
but for me, it's different, you know. For me, it's different. Like, I know, so I switched from teaching U.S. history to teaching college and career readiness. The reason why is because I seen too often where these young kids were being put in circumstances where they were forced to go to college. Now, I'm a pro-college person. Like, yes, go to college. But I know at the same time, this kid will only last a semester in college. Why don't we put him into a certain career or career path?
Carpentry.
Like carpentry or mechanic, like something that he can make a living for a long time. And it's just like their goal was a 90% college attendance rate. And I was just like, you can't expect every single student in this school, especially in this day and age where computer programming and coding are some of the leading jobs out of high school, and you can get a computer programming job with no college experience. So
Yeah,
that's 100% true.
yeah,
We got some comments in the chat right now. Remember, one of your favorites, Grandpa, the good sister Brandy done said, I find it amazing that Trump can tell you his whole plan. People will tell you that's not what he said. And then when he does what he said, everyone is shocked. Cut the crap. You're not about to wipe poop on me and convince me it's chocolate.
But really, no, nobody was really shocked. But their skirt was taken off there, you know, because we see that he wasn't shocked. But what's happening out right now is the population, he got 47% of the people behind him. He done everything under the sun. And he's still president up until now. And all the people who voted for him, you'd have thought they would have got rid of him a long time ago. So they weren't shocked.
Now look, I want to, yeah, well, you know, I keep leaning on it. The country ain't shit, man. So, you know, the fact that a criminal is leading the country doesn't shock me. He ain't the first one. He won't be the last. My thing with us as Black people is, when the hell you gonna wake up? All right, like I'm not like a even though I don't really care about voting, right? All right, you know, I voted. All right, everybody be quiet.
You didn't write in Kanye West, did you?
Nah, I did not write in Kanye West. I voted for the old white man Biden. I didn't want to, but Trump is an idiot, and I just, you know, I wanted to vote third party. I'm a registered independent, but dude is just a lunatic, man. So whatever. But listening to the Ballad of the Bullet, right? My man Malcolm. In fact, Friday, on my Black Friday show, I'm talking about Malcolm X, specifically the Ballad of the Bullet. And I waited to after the election because I didn't want to do it beforehand. And everybody saying, you must be supporting Trump. Like, all right, like I don't want to hear this shit. Like, you come get this work on Friday, though. But Black people have been voting Democrat literally 95+% since 1960 or 1964, whichever one you want to pick, right? It started with the New Deal, right? But only about 2/3 of Black people switched from the Republican Party, moved over to the Democrats. And then since 1964, we've been 95+%. In 1964, when Malcolm did the Ballad of the Bullet, he was fed up with Lyndon Johnson, right? When that was the president. He was fed up with Lyndon Johnson after 4 years. And he made this statement in there. I thought it was like so refreshing. It's 4 years in. He said, you got a Democratic president, you got 2/3 of the House, and you got 2/3 of the majority, and you can't get nothing that you've been promised done. He said because you a chump. That's why I love it, because we still chumps today. You still ain't hip. In 1964, the man wasn't saying don't vote. He wasn't saying vote Republican. He was saying stop just giving your vote to the Democrats. If white people are voting 50-50, or you know they are split, which they are, if a homogeneous group like the non-immigrants withheld their vote and said, we're going to vote for whichever party is going to give us the best thing, you decide the election. And it's been 60+ years and you still ain't figured it out because you ain't listening to the teachers of the past.
I think it's so much with our nine, like you said, the non-immigrants. Like it's so much for us, right? We're one, I think we don't have like a just a national cohort where everyone kind of is a part of the same, you know, we are a part of the same group, we all get the same emails. It's just not it, you know. You have Black people in the South that may still vote Republican, or you have success. Like it's just so many different layers to it, and to sometimes think like, how can we get together and just say like, let's demand this, you know, let's demand this. Like I was teaching last semester, actually last year, how Japanese Americans receive reparations from being put into internment.
That's my favorite word.
Like
reparations.
Like, you know, how Japanese Americans received reparations. Now, this is like they did it as a group. Like it wasn't just, you know, these Japanese Americans on this side or these Japanese Americans on this side. It's like, no, this happened to our entire people, and we want reparations. We want to be paid for what happened. And I think that's what it'll take. But it'll take almost 75% of African Americans to do the same thing, I think. In my opinion. I don't know if that's accurate, but it's just some numbers that I think in order for it to happen, it'll have to be as a collective group. Republicans, Democrats, Independents, all black people together will have to demand reparations to withhold the vote in order for reparations to happen.
Oh, man, you done said some sweet things just now, man, because I've been talking about reparations damn near every week on this show.
Yeah, I mean, but until you stop being political punks, you know, as Brother Malcolm say, it ain't gonna happen because you got a reason to unify. You've been wrong, you know, you've been hoodwinked, you done did all them things Malcolm said, and so you got a reason to unify. And the ridiculousness of maybe we shouldn't get reparations because some black folks just gonna give it back to white people. Look, listen, give me my damn money. Let me worry about that. Like, you cut the check. If they want to go buy Fendi, let them go buy some damn dumbass Fendi bags. But I got 4 people in my household right now. We take that $1.2 million. I bet you they won't see it ever again.
Our progress is sort of incremental. If you go back to the 30s, we were Republicans, and I've seen the arguments done back then where you wouldn't find a black person voting Democratic at all until Roosevelt come along with the New Deal. He come along with the New Deal. He's offering you some Social Security, which they didn't want us to have. He came along with a hope. They had the 40-hour work week. They had the union where you could get a job. You know, of course, some of the unions excluded us from certain jobs, but we would
Social Security.
They excluded you to the 50s and 60s.
So when I say it's incremental, those Democrats, we joined with them because they were in progress with them. Okay, all through the 40s, the Democrats and what you would say the Dixiecrats, because up until then they were nothing but Southerners in that Democratic Party. Because I seen them when they came from the South up north, but they were nothing but Dixiecrats. So they decided to go back and call themselves Republicans. But they were neither Republican nor Democrat. They were just plain old folks that didn't like black people. You know, they wanted somebody that they could put their heel on. You know?
During the Ballad of the Bully, y'all gonna get a lot of this today. I'm telling you, I listened to that thoroughly. But Malcolm talked about the Dixiecrats, Southern Dixiecrats. But then during this time, he said he was breaking down all the congressional committees, right? So it's like 15 congressional committees that do this, that control the money, 15 or 16. I forget the exact numbers, right? But 10 of the 15 committees that was controlling the purse strings of America were Southern states. And he said, y'all gonna tell me that the South lost the war. How the hell they lost the war? They controlling all the damn money and all these decisions. They didn't lose, right? They just made a deal to kind of switch things around. So this the Dixiecrat conversation that Dad is having, they still alive today. You know, these Democrats don't give a damn about you until it's time to vote. Then they come to your community, they bring a little jigaboo celebrity, let him buck jive and dance in front of you and tell you that you need to vote for Biden because whatever, and then they disappear, never to be seen again until 4 years later when they need your vote again. Because the point is they need your vote. That's the point.
I definitely want to speak on that for a second, especially pertaining to what I think it was what you said, Uncle Pooh Bear, about saying some folks are saying, well, I don't think we need reparations because we don't know whether people just get the money right back. I mean, when is it anyone else's business what you get back that you're owed? Whatever you do with what you're owed is your business. And the fact that people can't see the bigger picture of our liberation is entirely about economics at this point. Economics, access to resources, things like that allows us to have some type of control of what
access to capital.
It's access to capital without strings attached. And reparations is not a loan. It is payment for damages. Like whenever you file a claim for insurance, do you ask yourself, do I deserve this money? If I'm paying for insurance all this time and something happened to my house, I want everything that I signed up for. And it's entirely asinine that Jonathan brought up that he taught the Japanese came together and got their reparations. That
good brother Jonathan.
the good brother Jonathan. That I don't know a lot of Japanese people, but I would hope, and if someone's watching the Japanese, please come on the show and tell me that I'm wrong. But I don't think I would assume no one in the Japanese community would be like, well, I don't think we should get reparations. We're just going to blow it on whatever and such. Like, no, like, okay, no, John, make your point, Jonathan. Is that true?
No, I don't know about that, but I have a theory on reparations too. Like, if one thing about, they always talk about black people spending power, right? How black people spend the most money.
That's inaccurate. We have access to. We have a lot of access to credit. That's not actually. We actually only control 2.4% of the nation's wealth, and of that, only 0.8 or 0.8% behind the two is from like now. The 2% of that wealth is baby boomers, like the people who are like my grandfather's age, around that age, who have paid for their house down. And it's not liquid. It's like solid equity in their houses and things. That's where that money is.
Well, my point I was trying to make was, I think if our money circulated more into our communities only, where you're talking about, like you're talking about black dollars were only spent with black businesses, and these big corporations never touched a cent of it. So you talking about Amazon Prime never stopped in the hood anymore. It was no Target, like these big chains are folding. Reparations will come. Reparations will come because then it's like, oh, you're only spending in your community, so let me give you so much money that you have no choice but to circulate the money outside of your community again. I think that's one of the things that'll get reparations to the hood like ASAP. Like you talking about
good brother Jonathan, get it in. Yeah. You got me fired up over here. I had to open the windows.
You got a moment. Hold on. Let me got some more comments. Black people need to see they need our vote, especially when they go through all the efforts to suppress the vote. People better use their vote for power, demand them reparations. I want the money and a credit score reset. That's hilarious.
And a credit score reset.
But no, man, that's speak more on that, because I like what you said. You said that we should spend more in our community, and that's how we get reparations.
I think like if you limit the money that is gained by white communities, like not white communities, but just white corporations and white businesses, you talking about you're stripping their wealth and you're putting it back in the community. So it's like I always hear about I can't think of the name, but like Detroit had a cable company that was owned by a black man at one point.
Barton Cable.
So it's like, where is that? Like, I'm tired of paying Comcast. So it's like, where's the Barton Cable now? So if you
Marcus.
If we really putting this money back into the community,
sound like Garvey now. Come on now.
If we put this money back into the community and like literally strip them of their wealth, then they have no choice. The reason why they'll come back around, I bet it'll be a reparations bill the next week, because all it takes is us spending our money in our community. So it's like, if that's the new wave, they'll have to give us reparations, because they will want us to spend so uncontrollably that we will have to come back to their businesses, if that makes sense.
You were speaking of Barton, and I watched Barton as they came from the east. They galloped up Comcast. They galloped up Barton. He gave him $100 million, but he had no choice. People say, why didn't he something? He didn't have no choice but to go, because they were going to come through anyway. They offered him $100 million. $100 million ain't nothing compared to what was going on. You look right now, Byron Allen was talking about Comcast. He was saying so much percentage of the blacks got Comcast that if they quit out, Comcast will go bankrupt. Has anybody stopped going to Comcast? Same it would have been with Barton. Barton didn't have a chance when they come in from the east, and I was watching them as they was coming this way. And Barton had just got a foothold in the Detroit area and Oakland. He come in there, but Comcast come and say, well, you either sell to us, we're gonna run you out of business anyway.
Yeah.
But he already
we got another comment about that. We got another comment that I know y'all ready for that response. They got, I agree, we should have black businesses to provide what we need. not being negative, but our businesses have to be dependable too. Speak on that, because it's always we always get that argument when we talk about our stuff.
Okay, let's talk about that. That's an obvious thing, right? Why? Here's my thing with black people that say that, not to the individual commenter directly, but why don't you hold white people to the same standard?
Ooh, say it again.
You when they wrong you, you don't say I ain't never spending my money with them again, and then 4 generations after you never spend a dollar with that person again. But as soon as a black person wrong you one goddamn time, you don't give them opportunity to give reprieve. You say, see, I told you black businesses ain't shit. And then you tell your children not to do it. They tell their children's children not to do it. Stop that shit. Look, if a black person running a poor business, don't patronize them. I'm not telling you to patronize a business because it's shitty. Shitty businesses should be ran out of the damn community, but you got to give them a chance. Don't just be on black businesses like, nah, I ain't doing no business with them Negroes. They don't know. I'm gonna go on over to the respectable white man. What, daddy, what you used to say? 2 people selling ice, black people gonna go to the white man because the white man's ice is colder. Listen, we got to stop this nonsense. But that whole mentality is what got us in this position in the first place. I'm going back to it one more time. The ballad of the bullet. Malcolm said it in the damn thing. You need a re-education. 1, you need a political re-education. 2, you need an economic re-education. You complaining about the blight in your community. You're complaining about the poor housing, the lack of schooling, the opportunity, the social systems. You're complaining about all of this, but you fought tooth and nail to integrate into a white system, to spend your money with other people. But you're not understanding that every dollar that you spend outside of your community impoverishes your community. So don't complain about the white man running your community down. You did that because you didn't spend no money in your community. But we in a double trap, as Malcolm put it, in the ballad of the bullet. I'm telling y'all, watch this damn hour-long joint.
You making a mistake now because you making black people accountable.
Right. Well, we not gonna get out of white people put us in this. They ain't gonna get you out of it, man. They don't give a damn. Don't listen. That damn Democratic Party ain't shit. What Malcolm called them wolves in sheep clothing. That's exactly what they are. They smile in your face while they stabbing you in your back, and you ain't figured it out yet. You've been voting strictly Democrat for 60 damn years. They ain't did shit for you. And all the brothers is asking you to do is not just vote Democrat. It's to hold your vote.
Grandpa wants to come in hot. What you saying, Grandpa?
In 1920, I'm going to go back to Black Wall Street. They had a very prosperous place. What did they do?
Burn it down.
To the Black Wall Street.
Burn it down.
They burn it down. What I'm saying is this, that right now we got a problem, but we got some people working against us the same way to Wall Street. When you start getting prosperous, you got forces come in there and try to destroy you.
Yeah. The thing about
we be trying all the time to become entrepreneurs and everything, but then you got some forces. It's sort of like the Russians involved now with the communications with the election and everything. You got people in your own country, man, going, when you say I'm gonna do this, they're getting some forces to make sure you don't get that done. I'm looking at what you got here with the Paris Mulumba, you got Marcus Garvey, you got Ron Nakuma, you got all these people, but it's sort of
that mama and daddy in there too now.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. But
I don't forget my root. I know where I come from.
Grandpa wearing the same shirt in that picture. Grandpa's wearing the same shirt in that picture.
Had too, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would say to black business, the point of black business, it's like, I think if you put in place a Black Wall Street, or so for me, so when I was coming up, when we was growing up, I'm from the East Side. I lived on the East Side most of my life. At one point, me and my wife bought a house, our first home. We bought a house in Warren. Now this is 2015. 2015, we bought this house. 2016 is election season. The lady next door to me, I'm in Warren. It's my first time living outside of the city of Detroit. She got Trump signs in her yard. Somebody keeps stealing her signs, so she puts 30 Trump signs in her yard. Now, not only her, but the neighbor next to her, So I realized I'm in a Trump neighborhood. So election season passed, he gets elected. Now at this time, I know that I don't belong in this neighborhood. These neighbors, they smile in my face, but just like you said, wolves in sheep clothing. I know how they are. Like, I know what type of time they're on, and I know this neighborhood is not meant for me. So I need to stop giving my money to this community because this community is not serving me how it should.
Come
the
on,
mayor of
brother.
Warren is one of the most racist mayors in the city, like in the Metro Detroit area.
Say it again.
The mayor of Warren,
Okay.
Mayor Jim Foss, is one of the most racist mayors in the city of Warren. They're trying to strip him of having, I think Warren is at 8 terms as a mayor, and they're trying to bring it down to 5. So he's trying to keep this going where he's not voted out. But it's just like, I don't like, at this time, I don't even need to be in this community, because even the city councilwoman lives on my street, and I'm telling her, hey, like my sidewalk was lifting up. So it's like, this is a tripping hazard. I don't want to be liable for this. This is Warren planted this tree. Warren, come fix this issue. I tell her, I call the city. No, it's nothing we can do about it. It's nothing we can do about it. But her father lived right across the street from her. Same issue. It was fixed soon as she was elected. So I was like, I know this is not for me. And she was a Democrat. She's on a Democratic ticket. So it's just like, I know you're not for me. Like, you don't have to smile in my face. You don't have to wave. This community is not built for me. Like, this is a suburb of the city of Detroit. So I need to go back to where people are in my community. Like, Detroit may move slow, but they move at a pace where it's like everybody gets the slow treatment. There's no, all right, you're white, they're rushing out for you.
I got some info here. So I got sent this to me by the missus. So the black male vote increased for Trump from 13% to 18%. The black female vote doubled from 4% to 8%. So what do y'all think about that? What do you think the nature of that came about from was?
I honestly have. Go ahead, Bob.
Did you see about the female voting for Trump? That's what you said.
So for black men increased their vote 5% for Trump, and black women doubled their percent, which is 4%. They went from 4 to 8% voting for Trump in this election so far.
90% of the black women voted for Biden, and 80% of this is the facts that came on television today. 80% of the black men voted for Biden.
Yes.
So black women is voting for, I don't know, sometimes it's a confusion as to this information that keeps coming out. But they had a graph on there showing 90% of the black women voted for Biden. More so, 10% more than the black men.
Let me give the rest of the demographics too, real quick, just so I don't make it seem like I'm body bagging our people. So,
so many people I want to talk about.
No, I'm just saying, just because I know how it goes.
Man, I don't care about none of them.
I
don't care.
Just let me do it real quick. So, before people start saying I'm not being fair, 58% of white men voted for Trump. 55% of white women voted for Trump.
Right.
36% of Latinx of Latino men voted for Trump. 28% of Latino women voted for Trump, and 30% of every other race voted for Trump. Black people had the lowest voter turnout for Trump, but we get blamed whenever the Democrats lose.
Because you have been a slave to the Democrats for a minimum of 60 years, and you refuse to even entertain anything different. I didn't tell you to vote Republican. I didn't tell you to vote Green Party. I said you refuse to entertain anything different. So if you refuse for 60 years to even entertain anything different, then they should chastise you. You should be blamed for the damn increase, and you should be blamed for the vote because you ain't smart enough yet to realize that you should withhold your vote from all them damn parties. I wish you would form your own party. And I grabbed the book. I had my son bring me this book. I like to drop information. If you ready to wake the hell up, Black Power, The Politics of Liberation. Wake the hell up. I dare you to read the damn book. Stokely Carmichael or Kwame Ture is the author. I dare you to read the book. I dare you to read the book. And then let's have a conversation centered around that with this understanding underneath you. John Henry Clark said, every time you talk, it reminds me of the books you haven't read. I swear our community need to hear that. Every time you talk, it reminds me of the books you haven't read. We out here just talking. You're not standing on no knowledge, no understanding. Stop talking.
Talking about Black Wall.
Fired up, man. Y'all ain't ready.
Now, let me say this. Now, I was saying something about the underlying forces that prevail at the time of the Black Wall Street. The same thing happens now. You remember when the interstates came through? What did they do? Every black area in the United States, they put a highway right through it and destroyed your.
That's why there's an east side and a west side of Detroit to this day.
The east side
Freeway was a knife.
I know all the Black Authority. I remember the Bart Wells ice cream and all that. What happened when the interstate came through there? They destroyed.
Eminent domain is how they seize private property.
Destroy us regardless of what we try to do. We try to go.
Hold on, Jonathan, give your point, brother.
No, I was listening to Grandpa Taylor. He's absolutely right. I mean, I think, I can't say I think. I just hope that, you know, as we continue to try to rebuild communities that serve us. I think right now is one on the west side, the fashion district. A lot of black-owned businesses on Livernois between like Lodge and 8 Mile.
Wow.
So it's just like I hope that we're not only are protecting our businesses, like, and that kind of comes down to voting. Like that comes down to voting and making a change and putting people in power that serve us. But to the point of book, I'm actually reading the Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson. So it's just like as a teacher, so many times we try to teach. You know, we try to teach from what kids should be like, what society wants you to be like, and it's just like, how can you teach people what you should look like in society when society wasn't built for you? Like, I can't tell you what you should look like in society if society wasn't built for you. We are still carving our own way and carving our own path by what our ancestors left, and we're just building on top of it, because that should be the goal. Like, after I'm gone, after everybody's gone, it's like, I hope that I left a foundation for you to be able to climb on top and still succeed in life somehow. It's like one of those things where we could be pessimistic and be like, yo, nothing's never going to change, you know, and we just gonna live this the way society was designed for us. Or we could just say, you know, F that, like, let me just take out, like, let me demand what I want. Let me be the change I want to see in my community. So it's like, if my school is a charter ran by a bunch of white people, if they ever tell me they don't like what I'm saying, they don't like how I'm doing it, I'm a black male educator. I can go anywhere in the world and be a teacher. Like, I am what they need. So it's just like, if you don't want me here, somebody else gonna want me. And I tell all the teachers, I tell teachers that all the time. They be, oh, I'm stressed out. They're yo, you're a teacher. Like, you're a prize at the end of the day. You don't get paid a lot, and you volunteering. Like, this is almost like volunteer work sometimes. It's like teachers don't get paid to stay up 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock answering, like, and it's just like,
lesson plans.
You're a teacher at the end of the day. Like, demand your respect, demand your pay, and if they not hearing it, go somewhere else. And that's for any person in any field. If the place that you work is not paying you or respecting you or responding to you how you wanted to, you're the talent. Like, you can go elsewhere. You're the talent at the end of the day. Like, they need you. You don't need them. My bad. I don't want nobody quitting their jobs on my.
Man, you talking about
damn jobs.
No, man, you talking about something, man, because it's definitely, if you know your shit, man, this economy is for you. Like, you'll find a place to work. People like and if you can't find it, I mean,
all these mediocre ass people out here, it's a lot of opportunity.
This has been my saying for all 2020. Since I'm flipping the whole black people gotta be twice as good to get half as much. We should, if we're not gonna get money reparations, we should have to do half as much to get twice as much at this point. I mean, that's the only way we're gonna even stuff out, because we didn't have to have been excellent just to get desk jobs. You know what I mean? Just to get like
look, hold on, let's build on that. You have to be excellent just to get desk jobs because you keep depending on white people to give you jobs. If we was doing what we're supposed to do, funding our own businesses by just patronizing them, then you can hire your own people and you don't got to work twice as hard just to get just as much, because you build up your own damn economy. Again, Malcolm X said it, 1964 in the ballot or the bullet. You have been economically miseducated. Carter G alludes to it in his book as well. You don't understand economics. You allow other people to come into your neighborhood and sell peanuts when you know damn well you love peanuts. Stop it. That is the crux of the matter. We don't hire ourselves, so we got to prostrate ourselves, bend over backwards, and just take it how they gonna give it in order to try to live, because you don't understand the fundamentals of economics. In the speech, X says, you can't go to no white community and open up no business. You ain't going to no Italian community and open up no business. You're not going to no Chinese community, no Latin community, none of them. Latin X, you can name any damn one of them. You open it up as a black person, they will not patronize you. They're not being racist, they're being intelligent.
I give an example of that. When I was in college, I was like,
I'm gonna get pops fired up. I knew that was gonna get pops fired.
Real quick, let me tell my story real quick, please.
Oh, yeah, he gonna forget. You gotta
All
let
right,
him
go.
On a larger scale, I'm going to give you a perfect example. You saw what happened in Dearborn there. You see all the improvement? That was no mom and pop store stuff. That was nobody picking. That money came from, I talked to a guy, a few years back. He was Arab. His name was Barry. He said that money came in. He said it's going to be a big project. And this has been 20 years ago. But the money come in from Lebanon. But what I'm saying is this: we have the money too. If they can build a West Dearborn, it wasn't no mom and pop thing, but that whole doggone area is financed by somebody else, you know? So why come we can't have this in Inkster?
Hey, you gotta make a great point.
The people got the money. Everybody, we got billionaires and millionaires and everything. We investing too in a lot of big things too. But we got to get down to the roots of it and invest in the neighborhoods.
Pops, I got a plan. I got a plan to come in and buy that northwest.
Whoa, Uncle Pooh, don't throw it out there.
Don't throw it out there. Yeah.
You know how people.
Pops, but what you saying? I got a plan to do it, because what you're talking about is exactly what I think we need, and what we need to replicate in East St. Louis and Gary, Indiana, in the SIP, in Jackson, Mississippi. We need to do
out there.
Okay.
Come on, you got power down, man. We
get fired up, man. You can't
got enemies, man.
That ballad of the bullet got me going, fam. I'm ready to
go. They already done changed the Stardust or something else. You can't be throwing everything out there.
But to the point of Dearborn and like these Sterling Heights, these areas where you have a large Arab or Chaldean community. I used to work for a cell phone store when I was about 19. Chaldean owned cell phone store. Like I worked for the Sprint corporate store, but a guy, he was a year older than me. He was like, yeah, my family just bought a Sprint store. It's like a third party store in Detroit. You want to come work for me? I'm like, I'm 19. He talking about paying me twice as much, just no life insurance. Absolutely. Like, let's go that way. So not life insurance, health insurance. So they explained to me how they did it, like how they owned all of these stores. Basically, they'll all enter the country illegally. It may be like a grandpa here living in like a 2-bedroom house on the east side. Then they'll all cram into this one house, about 4, 5, 6 families, right? And then they all pile the money into the house, constantly pile the money into the house. They'll buy one store. They'll buy a liquor store in the hood. One family takes control of the liquor store. You move out to Sterling Heights, you get a bigger house. Then that family who has the house in Sterling Heights and the liquor store, they still have to send money back to the house. Still money building into this one house where now they can go buy a cell phone store. And then a family can move out, and then you own the cell phone store. And then the next family. It keeps happening until every family has at least one business.
That sounds like a success story, but
yeah.
But the thing about that is too, the gasoline, a lot of people, you see a lot of success in their community. You try to get you a gasoline station and get the gas for the same price if they controlling them. The credit, one time the credit, they wouldn't letting black people have no credit, but the Arabs could get all the credit they wanted. The man who's in charge of the credit said, well, you could open your store, but you're gonna buy my ice cream. So you went in the store and you understand why come certain stores had the same brand ice cream? They was in on that credit thing, but we wasn't getting no credit. So they just eliminated that. So what I'm trying to say is that it's kind of monolithic in point for them.
Yeah.
They hang in there. and they get together just like
Smart.
Hey, I wanna-
Indians with the
wanna
hotels
speak
and the motels and things, and the
Yep.
Chinese had the thing, and the Koreans got the hair thing.
I want to speak on that, Grandpa.
Mom and
Yep.
Pop, something they got together to do.
I want to
Yep.
speak on that. So first
Yep.
and foremost, since you brought up banking, everyone, if you have the chance to find, rent, whatever you got to do, find the movie The Banker. Samuel L. Jackson produced the movie. It explains how these two black brothers in
Oh, did
California,
he? I didn't know that.
they're
Good movie though.
they're explaining about how these two black dudes came out and bought a bunch of land and a bunch of property in like California, and they used all the legal tricks they could. At the end, the government stripped it from them because they couldn't allow black people to have nothing to come. But it's a beautiful movie.
Well,
Please.
he went into Texas.
But Texas, I'm
He stayed his ass in California.
yeah.
But he wanted to go
It's
home.
It's a beautiful movie,
I'm
but
ruining the movie for y'all if y'all ain't seen
no, still watch it. It's great. It's a great movie.
it.
There's what I was saying was when I was in college, I lived on Grand River. Down the street from Grand River by what used to be a Blockbuster, was a Chinese. I'm not sure if it was or is a Chinese restaurant or a Chinese restaurant. I don't remember what the name of it is. And I remember they had a sign in the window saying, we need help or whatever, someone to work for whatever. So I come in, I apply and everything, and I'm like, I just want to make some extra money. I need some extra money as a college kid. And the next day, I walked right past that place, and it went from we need like help wanted to it was written in like their language's characters, help wanted. So it was obvious to me that was an obvious move to me. What was the situation was. Because there's like, we didn't expect one of y'all to try to come in here asking for work. And now, mind you, I had come in here several times because I like the food. So I'm like, they knew who I was, at least seen me. So I'm like, oh, so y'all, this is the game. No, I get it because they're protecting their economy. They're protecting the opportunities for people in their group. And I understand that. You got to make moves because no one else is going to make moves for you. And black people got to look at it like, it's not evil. It's not a problem. It doesn't make you a demon. It's not a sin to try to protect people who look like you because no one else is looking out for y'all because the system, like the good brother Jonathan said, was not made for you. So why is it that we have this moral obligation to everyone else, but not to ourselves?
Woo! Come on. Well, look, I'll just tell you like it is. You've been miseducated. That's just the damn reason. You are so into multiculturalism and what is this new term? People of color and all of this shit. Like, I don't talk about none of that. I talk about black people and non-immigrants, right? Non-immigrants are people in the United States, but I relate with people in Jamaica, in Haiti, in Brazil, all of our black African people all around the world, the mighty nation that Marcus Garvey talks about, right? The mighty nation, right? I'm not concerned with anybody else because my education made it so. My education, as Carter G said, if your education don't make you want to serve your people, then throw it away. And most of us has been miseducated. The best thing the white man ever did was to free you and then allow you to be educated in his school. Malcolm asked, who taught you to hate yourself? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin? Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Ain't none of this shit that happened. It ain't magic. We allowed our babies to go to school to be educated by the people that have overtly hated us in this country. And nobody don't want to say it. Y'all want to be cute and PC, but that ain't me, right?
Up you mighty nation and accomplish what you will.
Up you mighty nation. It's time.
I was going back to the incrementals. I see my Patrice Lumumba and the Marcus Garveys. I see the one the Kumas. Every one of them called hell. I remember once in back in the 50s before Lumumba got assassinated, and the police guy was laughing at his name. I said, well, what's the difference between Lumumba and Kaczynski? If Lumumba is a joke, Kaczynski's a joke too, But he wants to make a joke out of it. Here's a black man who's fighting for the independence of his nation. I can't see that one.
Castro.
That's my story.
Come on, man. You know I don't play. I'm your seat.
Hold on, guys. We got to before we get into it for some more. We got to wind down the episode. So we don't a little bit. But
Right when I mentioned Castro, Dad, he jumped out on us.
No, we done did 4 or 5 Castro episodes.
Shout out to the great
Every
Castro.
episode got to get Castro in there, man.
All right, hold on.
Just
All
about
right.
Castro. They were talking about South America. They were
All right,
talking
I'm gonna keep talking.
Chile and their social programs, Alendez, and you get Chile and Bolivia and all those countries. They're always down on them, but they go in there and mess with their governments. Don't let those people do nothing.
Every time.
But
Same playbook, man.
huh?
All right, well,
Same playbook.
let's give some final thoughts. Let's go for the good brother Jonathan
Ooh,
first.
that's tough. How
man,
you sum it up?
Good
brother Jonathan got to come back, man.
You gotta come back, bro.
Yeah, I'm down. I'll be better prepared. I'll go get a better beer.
Please do. Please.
You gotta give some final thoughts, man. Give some final thoughts.
It was good talking to you, brothers. It's always enlightening, especially talking to people that's older than me, that have more knowledge than I have, or just can sow a seed into me. That's always a blessing, man. But hopefully this election turns out with Biden winning, and hopefully we see some sort of change with the black woman in the White House. So let's hope we see some sort of change. The political system, it's hard to have faith in it. You know, as a black person, it's hard to have faith in the political system. But you continue to vote because you hope a change will come someday. But it's also time to demand change where you can, and that's with the people up the street, like with your elected officials that live in your neighborhood, that live across the street from you, or your mayors and things like that. When we demand change in our neighborhoods, change will come throughout the country. So let's just stay positive, man. No matter what the election outcome is, just stay positive and stay prepared.
Uncle Pooh, hit the next one.
Man, I don't know where to even go, but I enjoyed the conversation, definitely. Much more spirited than I was hoping. I love it. I love to get fired up. I guess I'll leave the people with, man, I'm telling you, listen to Malcolm X, The Ballot or the Bullet. 55 minutes. The brother lays it out in 1964. He could have gave the speech yesterday. Y'all still sleep? Let's wake the hell up. Let's start to realize we need a political re-education. We need an economic re-education. And I know good brother Jonathan was beating on it because he owned the young people. I love that, man. But that's that spirit we need. Go ahead, brother.
Before you finish, Uncle Pooh, I need you and brother Jonathan to get together because you got some educational material.
I got to get my man some of our Black History flashcards.
Oh yeah, I got some of them your cards.
Yeah, this is my business.
Ready.
I received 2 packs of those last Christmas. One of the teachers gave them to me.
Is that right?
Yep. And I can tell you this. I'm sorry, I know you're trying to wrap up. What I did last year was we had a Black History project, and I made them pull a card. So it wasn't, you didn't get the Malcolms, you didn't just get the people you hear about. They had to pull a card. Man, that's beautiful. That's crazy that how yeah. So every year.
Uncle Pooh, when you come back out to Michigan, we're gonna have to powwow.
Yeah.
Well, send me his info, man. I'll send you the rest of the decks. It's actually 5 different volumes in that series, and you already see we off the beaten path in the first one, so you can only imagine. Yep. Oh yeah, and we get into the Afro Latinx community because they are always ignored. But again,
don't throw the catalog out there. People gotta buy it. So
yeah, y'all gotta buy it. But what I'm getting at is the mighty nation, right? I'm getting into the thing. It's connecting us globally, right? Because it's Black Chinamen out there, right? It's Indians, it's Australians. Like I said Chinaman, right? Like that's a Snoop Dogg and his wine talking now, but but. The diaspora is real and is global and it's been here, and civilization is what we birth to people. So I know we can literally change the world by teaching our youth our actual history, not this shit they teach you in February about the same 8 to 12 people that they've been teaching you for 20 years, 30, 40 years. Like they talk about the same people. We ain't got nobody else going on. All right. Don't worry about it.
Revolutionize you. That's what it is.
Yeah. They programming you, right? But we got to get off of that, right? So again, I'll just lean on the Ballot or the Bullet. And if you really want to wake up, you check out what I was talking about, Black Power the politics of liberation. Killer read. This is a killer. This is a killer.
Another book that I would try to throw out there is Grandpa, go first. Go first. I'm sorry. Go first, Grandpa.
Oh, pre-colonial Black Africa? What you want, some Sheikh Anta Diop? Oh, you really want to know who you are before you was
We gotta wind down the show. We gotta wind down.
Hey, brother, hey, I'll stay on 10,000.
I know. We'll go ahead next week, Grandpa. Give your final thought real quick.
The only thing I'm impressed with what Freddie has behind him with the Wanda Kumas, the Jomo Kenyattas, Patricia Lumbumba's, the Martin Luther King. Those people were criticized, was almost destroyed. In fact, Martin Luther King was assassinated. But the thing about it is the atmosphere at the time when they were. People think that Martin Luther King was loved. You gotta be my age and you'll see how much hatred was. So I'm saying this, that even with this election now, the election is over, but 47% of the people still got that hatred in it. And they're gonna always, that's that power, that unseen force that always go try to stop you from doing something. And you gotta keep your eye on it.
And I was gonna add one more book, Read From Here to Equality. It breaks down a lot of the actual data of what Black folks are owed for reparations and why and all these other things. But as always, thank you, good brother Jonathan. We hope you're a recurring guest.
Of course, man. Thank you.
We hope you come back. You know, when Uncle Pooh Bear gets out here, we're going to have to treat you to some alcohol.
Definitely.
Go down.
Some real beer. We ain't gonna drink that Modelo.
Business will be had. Thank you as always, Uncle Pooh Bear. You know, drop. As a matter of fact, let's do this. We gotta support Black business. Jonathan, drop your Black business or
Black. Yeah. What you got, bro?
Of course, man. Make sure you search any of our podcasts. AudioWaveNetwork.com.
What is it again? Say it again.
AudioWaveNetwork.com. AudioWaveNetwork.com. So if you're in the city of Detroit and you look for somewhere to record, come see us. We're on the east side of Detroit. So yeah, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Audio Wave.
I ain't got nothing to record. I'm just coming to support. I got something to say.
AudioWaveNetwork.com, y'all. If you ain't listening to Audio Wave, you ain't got a radio. Uncle Pooh Bear, drop your business, drop something.
Yeah, check us out, urbanintellectuals.com, but more importantly, check us out, sancopaclub.com, because we have 5 days a week.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I can't even spell Sankofa. You better put that. Yeah, well, you better spell it.
Sankofa, man. Come on, Sankofa. Get in touch with the heartbeat, man.
You gotta help people out. You gotta help people.
Yeah. Check us out at the Black History flashcards are dope.
Sankofa mean, then maybe you'll stick with it. Tell them what it means.
Okay, so Sankofa means to go back and get it. Go back and get your history and bring it forward with you. Go back and get your accomplishments and bring it forward with you. Go back and get your attitude, your understanding, your heartbeat, and bring it forward with you. That's the meaning of the essence behind Sankofa. So come and check us out, man. We got Black teachers teaching Black history 5 days a week. We got active. You remember Highlights magazine? We got basically a Black Highlights magazine inside of the Sankofa Club available to all members with daily Black history classes, because we know that if we teach a child who they are, who they were before they were tampered with, before colonization, who are the creators of civilization, they'll do it again. As Garvey said, you won't just talk about the pyramids built thousands of years ago, you will build them today so your children can see them for their very own eyes.
And remember, the Sphinx is the youngest of the wonders of the world. It's 10,000 years old. So if Black people made that, imagine if that's the youngest, how far back our history really goes. Grandpa, drop that final dime so we can get off the show. I gotta go back to work.
You said do what now?
Drop a dime, Grandpa. Give us a best
comment.
Give us insight.
I just want y'all to remember all those people who came before you. They commend them. We didn't get here by ourselves. We had the Patricia Lumbumba's, Wanda Kumas and Jomo Kenyattas,
Freddie Taylor's,
and they shed blood too.
Oh yeah.
We just got to pick up where they left off at. It wasn't just the United States. The whole diaspora was in trouble. Each one of them played an important role and an important part in where we are today. So let's not forget it.
Word.
That's this week's episode, y'all. I'll get with y'all afterwards, but don't hang up yet. I'm just going to end the episode. But as usual, it was wonderful working with you, gentlemen.
Plum pleasing pleasure, right? As
Till
Les
next
Brown
week.
would say.
Hopefully, we'll see y'all again soon. Damn.
Yeah.
How do I end
If
this?
we don't get banned.